ships, and it's a 1 hour countdown that starts to count down from 1 hour. You don't have to be there when it starts. You don't have to be there when it ends. At any given point in time, you can just go to that drop, jump in, grab a player, grab a wingsuit, and see how fast of a time. You'll see all kinds of other people around you on the mountain doing the same thing. There's a leaderboard that tells you where everybody is and how everybody's standing, and you can just jump in, do a couple runs down the mountain. If you crash halfway down the mountain, that's okay. You can just restart back because, again, all that matters is how fast of a time can you post in this 1 hour time period. And you can go in, post a good time, jump back out again, go to another place, find a cool trick event. Oh, it's who can post the highest trick score in the next 3 hours. Post a trick score in that. When the other event ends, you'll get notified, hey, you finished in the gold bracket, you earned yourself some credits, we give you some money for how well you finish in there, and you can just jump in and dip out of all of these global events at any given point in time. And when that global event ends at the end of 1 hour, we wait a couple of minutes, reset everything, clock starts ticking at an hour again, you can jump back in, and it just keeps repeating over and over and over again. And then we change things up as over time, and it's going to be a really amazing experience.
So it sounds like you're redefining social competition.
It does sound like that. Good job, Jen. You should work in PR.
And you're focusing a lot more on asynchronous online than versus head-to-head.
Yes.
Cool. Well, it sounds very innovative. Local multiplayer. How many players at once? How does that work?
So we do not have split screen racing, and we already announced this, and we've heard from some of our fans that they've been disappointed that we don't have split screen because SSX had split screen in the past, and we probably held on to really wanting split screen in this game for too long. But the reality is split screen is great for racing. Doesn't really matter for trick and doesn't really matter for survive, and racing's only a third of our game. We think that we have done so many cool things, and it just came down to a choice between, do we want to invest in making this a game for the connected generation and make online as easy and accessible and as simple for people to play against each other as they can, or do we want to do local split screen multiplayer that's going to be kind of cool for racing only. And we we had to make a priority call. It's a brand new game. We can't do everything that we want to do. So, we hope that people love what is there.
Another thing to consider too, because of where we went with our level design, this SSX is about huge, massive, open worlds. And if you put that in a tight, confined, split screen, head-to-head racing experience, we don't have that. We have these awesome racing. For us is all about finding the fastest path down the mountain. Because they're so big, there's so many opportunities to find that quick path, so much replayability there. But we don't have those tight, confined courses where, racing alongside your friends like Tricky would, where it would make it more of a reason to do so.
Okay, well that sounds like a good answer to me. Another piece of your online is RiderNet, and we have a question from Gonzalo asking if it's similar to Autolog.
It's absolutely similar to Autolog. It is. We looked at what Autolog did, and we were hugely inspired by that, and we just thought, how can we continue to build on that? How can we evolve on that? I think the presence of ghosts adds more of a human element to that. So instead of just chasing somebody's score as a name in a leaderboard, you're actually riding down the mountain and seeing where they went and where they used their trick opportunities. If you're racing against a ghost, it's just like racing against somebody who's there, other than the fact that you can't knock them over. But in our game, again, with the levels being so huge and wide, you don't get a lot of opportunity to do that anyways. So being able to race against a ghost, and all the ghosts have trails. I don't know if you saw that in the game, the game that we were showing, but they all have really long trails so that if they get ahead of you, you can still actually follow them and see where they went. And with ghosts, nothing's hidden. You can't find a fast path and then hide it. You're gonna eventually, everyone else is gonna see what you did, and it's fun.
Do you want to show some of the rivalry? We just got a connection online, so do you want to show?
How did that happen?
We have amazing tech people. We only have a couple more minutes. Can you show it in 5 minutes while we're talking?
Show it in 10 seconds.
Why don't you just do some stuff and then we can
10 seconds and start.
So these are actually all my rivals here. I'm going to go to this gentleman over here, which is King Biddy. Gentleman to my left. We're friends online, so I'm going to click on him. And this is all of the stuff that Todd has done. So he's gone to this particular track unsanctioned and set 9 million. So I'm not going to go and try to beat that because that was
your best is only 3 million there. Who's the best in the world?
Let's find one I can take him down. Let's go to this one. Right here. So I can just, at a click of a button, it's going to take me right to the particular drop where Todd set the record on. As you can see on the left-hand panel, there's Todd's scores. And I can just jump on in and go try to beat his score. And once I get into game, I'm going to see the ghost of Todd's run. and I can go beat him and then earn some money and some bragging rights. And when I do, he's going to get a message that tells him that, Connor just beat your score, which is awesome. And then, of course,
Assuming Connor
it's,
beats your score.
The back and forth. And we've had a lot of fun, over this last couple months, just building that competition throughout the team and, other people that pick up the game. And I can go look at a bunch of scores, go try to knock them off, and I do. And then I come back the next day, and then, they've beaten my scores, and it's, it's ongoing, and it's really a lot of fun.
The best part here, like I said before, is that if Connor tries to go ahead and beat my ghost, who is... Just stop for a moment, Connor, and see. There we go. King Biddy goes off in the distance. So if Connor loses to my ghost here, I'm going to earn some money, which is really awesome. And I can use that money to buy better gear to make my ghost even harder for Connor to beat. So there's a great cycle back and forth. But if Connor beats me, he'll earn a big bounty for it. And the better time that I've set, the bigger bounty that you earn for doing it. And there's some great back and forth competition amongst friends that way.
Awesome. Okay, last question. Oh, how do I choose?
Let's do some quick fire, like 30 seconds. Bang, bang, bang. One-word answers.
Okay, this is from Eduardo. I can't speak. Eduardo. Will there be more mountains via DLC?
Maybe.
Tough question.
We can't talk about DLC just yet, or can we, Jen? But we would certainly look at doing something like that. That's
Sounds
more than
like a
one
great
word.
idea.
Keep going.
Okay. The ghost system. Oh, these are all
Faster.
comments now. Do you show a achievement or trophy list, or do show?
Yes. We actually have a
Dojo
really cool
Gamer.
feature in addition to achievements. We have something we call badges. So if you think of something like Halo badges, we have almost 200 unique badges, which are all like mini achievements in and of themselves. Grind for a grand total of an hour in the game, grind for 3 days, and there's all these badges, gold, silver, bronze. You can earn them. There's tons of depth there.
Jorge from Atomics asks, why did you decide to include the rewind feature? What was your influence?
It started to, we started seeing that in racing games. We saw it in Forza, obviously saw it in Dirt. We thought that was a pretty cool thing. We wanted to make it instantly accessible, single button. I think it is as slick and integrated as any that we've ever seen. It also helps to solve the problem that SSX suffered from a little bit in the past, which is you go flying off of a course, and you go down and fall into a giant crevasse. In SSX before, they would just kind of warp you back onto the track. If they didn't put you in quite the right spot, sometimes they would put you in a spot where you didn't get enough speed to actually clear it the next time, and you'd fall and you'd get kind of stuck into this thing. Rewind kind of lets the player have more control over how they undo their mistakes.
Okay. Last one. I'm not going to do any more. It's the last one.
Connor, you're answering.
Can you
Okay.
repeat how the currency works? Is it only for leaderboards? And that's Eduardo again.
Todd, I'm going to hand this one over to you.
And that
Everything
wasn't a
you
gameplay
do,
question.
everything you do in the game earns you currency. Absolutely everything. Even losing will earn you currency. You earn currency for everything that you do in the game, from winning in the our sort of single-player campaign mode to everything that you do in Explore, everything you do in global events. Everything in the game has a reward of currency. It is entwined through everything.
Okay. So we're going to wrap it up. But before I throw it to you for some final thoughts, I will point out that this is certainly the best game of the webcast. I can't wait.
Thanks,
There you go.
Jen.
Quote.
Did you say that after
Did
every
you
game?
say that, or did
We have
somebody
no...
say that?
Quote.
Oh,
Who said
okay.
that?
I'm going to for someone from Loretta Record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We love you, Loretta.
And people are excited to find this thing in South America,
Awesome.
as I'm sure, yes.
Patagonia.
And again, Adrian will probably be able to supply you with that. So, okay, final thoughts. Connor, you start.
Actually, let Todd go
Todd,
first.
you start.
I want to collect my
You're
thoughts.
doing some awesome deflecting.
Yes.
Final thoughts, I guess, it didn't say this does, just to clarify, it comes out on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, early next year. We think our core gameplay experience even today is just phenomenal. It's testing off the charts. People love the game. They say it feels decidedly SSX with also some improvements and a little bit more grown up. We're working hard around the clock to make this the best game that we can, and we feel confident you guys are going to love it. So thank you, and thank you for tuning in today.
What more can be said than that, really?
Parting thoughts, can I get a Red Bull?
Other than that, go pick it up sometime in the near future. And yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun. Thanks
Okay.
a lot.
Thanks, everyone.
So I'm going to close it out for all of us at EA Canada. Thank you for Adrian. Adrian down in Mexico, so smart of him to think of the Ustream. This is the first time we've ever done this for press, and we hope we get to do it again. I've seen a couple people on the chat saying that they really enjoyed it. So please give all your feedback to Adrian, and if you liked it, then perhaps we can do these again. And people keep asking about that date release. Early in 2012, folks. Early in 2012. Yeah. So all questions to Adrian. Big thanks to the tech crew over here who had to figure out how we could make this thing work. Apparently it's been okay, only some audio glitches, and that's about it.
I hope not when
Yeah.
I was talking.
Good job driving today, Connor. Nice
So
work.
thank you, FIFA Street, Grand Slam Tennis 2, SSX, all excellent games, but apparently SSX is the best. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.